Cuando se reconoce el compañerismo y solidaridad mostrada durante su paso por el Ministerio de Formación Luciférico, al diácono Fernández Noriega Jacinto hace entrega de la distinción nuestro máximo jerarca Víctor Daniel Rosso y la primera ministra Díaz Guzmán Yepes. Se reconoce el compañerismo y solidaridad mostrada durante su paso por.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Give honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. And to the fullness. The seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. In case you don't see it, you have a government official in Colombia that's part of a satanic temple, and proves that what the people that's in position of power, who they worship, okay, that's who they worship. They worship Satan. This is why when a lot of these higher ups, like Maduro, get mad and upset, they took him out of his place. But a lot of these tribes, they for the enemy. And this is the main reason why the Lord said not to feel sorry for them, not to feel anything. Because in order to establish their position, they had to sell out, right? They had to be a part of the oppressive powers that Esau present to the world. They themselves are a part of it. They're not anti anything. You notice they don't say nothing about a whole bunch of other things that's going, especially goes on. A lot of these leaders are corrupt as well, and they all work for the same thing. Ain't no different from any cartel, any adulterer, somebody that's into what do they call that shit? Haitians call it voodoo. They call it something else. Santa Maria. They all know different. It's not a shocking thing. This is an Israelite thing. All right. This is what Israel is known for doing. So I'm not, expressing it like, oh, they probably Edomites. Yeah, they probably most likely are Edomites. But it shows you that the powers that be, the people that sits in a position of power of today, they all under one banner. Okay? They're all in the back pocket of the devil. Matthew, actually, I like the Luke better. No, you know what? I'll go with this one, Matthew's 4:8. It says, and again, the devil taking him up into the high exceeding mountain, and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then saith Yahushua unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shall thy serve. So what does this prove? That means the people that's in position of power are under the spirit of Satan. That's why they do the things that they do. Now, it crossed my mind. I got his name. I could look it up. But the guy who I think he was Venezuelan. He had what is it Bill? Oh boy, the first president of South America. Let me see something. Now I know I'm gonna butcher his name, but forgive me. Whoopsie. You know what? I won't see nothing. Slovakia, and he's extremely famous. Um, I think he was the first president, or it could be first prime minister. No, no, first president. And he's extra famous. Um, Simon Bolivar. Now he is extremely famous. The liberator, right? Ah, oh, okay. So what was Colombia? Good. Oh, good choice. This is how you say this man's name. I don't want to butcher his name. He gives kind of get you gotta give him kind of respect. But all these individuals, when you do the history and you look at, because when the Lord put people in position of power, He, some believe, some believer. Let's see if I'm saying it correctly. Well, right now I say Simon, so Simon. All right, let's just hear it out. So, yep, Venezuela, New Grenada, Ecuador, Panama were merged into the Republic of Colombia, which Grand Colombia, with Bival as president there in Peru and Bival. Now, if I'm not mistaken, according to the history, Levite helped them establish that. So there's a lot of rich history amongst the tribes, even after the fact of Judah Benjamin Levi came over here. Now, I heard it before. I'm just going to go by what I heard, that he was brought to, or he was dealing with a certain Rothschilds. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know if I can find it, so I'm just going to go by it. All right. And obviously, we all know dealing with them devils. Yep. So he got a rich history with Haiti. The Haitians helped him out, the flag and everything like that. This is a real, down to earth history. Let me see if I can find it. I'm just going about, based on the based on the provided research results, there is no direct evidence between the connection between Simon Bolivar and the Rothschild family during his lifetime. The results indicated that Bolivar was a wealthy Venezuelan uh, aristocrat born into Creole elite, while the Rothschilds banking empire was expanded in Europe in the same period. So let me see. Okay. All right. So the rumor was, I don't know how true it is. I'm just going by what, that he was aided with some sort of financial backing to establish his venture, establish, Venezuela, all that good stuff. But it said something to the extent of that when he saw how they lived, he was at shocked. But that's how far it goes. That's what I heard. I thought there was some backing behind that. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was he himself. Because in order to establish yourself into this fucked up world, this is why even when Levi in it, now history, we all know, everybody knows the dark secret that Jake was using certain type of um, thing to help them get to that point. Because when we came to this side, this side was a form of punishment, not a form of making it. Okay, Haiti's fucked up because Haiti didn't you beg the Lord for permission to do certain things. They did it their way, right? They did it by these other gods because they give credit to these demons how they got the land. So hey, you want to give credit to them? To this day, Haiti's been fucked up. To this day, yes, a lot of it has to do with Esau going in there and jacking the place up, but it's all about the foundational peace. And there was no peace because they use certain the scripture, which was prophecy, by the way. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me get that real quick. Genesis 49, Slakia. Genesis 49 and 5. Simon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation. And we know that instrument of cruelty, whereas this goes back at when Simon and Levi took down the Canaanites, the one that raped their sister, waited, agreed with them for the marriage, but told them that they had to be circumcised. And when every male was circumcised, and it was in pain, and when it was in pain, they came in there and slaughtered every last one of them. And you have to understand the climate that they were in. Jacob, our father, was in a land surrounded by his enemies. He had a good report, but he was outnumbered. So when that happened, he was pissed at them. Like, well, what was you thinking? So that coldness that continued as the prophecy that was going to happen to Levi and Simeon. All right, which is this how you supposed to say Simeon, Simon? But so the same cruelty that we had back then, we'll perform that cruelty towards one another, and ultimately that cruelty was the dark craft. Okay, and it says, "An instrument of cruelty are in their habitation. O my soul, come not down into their secret, unto their assemblies. Mine honor, be not thou united." That's why Simeon and Levi, they're not together. All right, Dominicans and Haitians are they have they're at odds with each other because of what? How that place was established. The Lord don't play games. You give credit to different gods, the Lord will get you. But that proved that what? That you had to go one way of fashion in order to get anywhere in this world. You have to deal with Satan. All right? And the Lord don't like things. This is why, matter of fact, that was a point for that one. I don't want to focus on that. Jeremiah 2 verses. Don't get it twisted. We have great history. We are great people. Every last tribe. We're great. But the reason why we're in the condition that we are in is we went against the Lord. Every last one of us. There's not one tribe that did not go against the Lord. So instead of the Lord establishing any tribe as a whole, as a nation, we get jacked for it. Matter of fact, since I said that, Luke 4:1, it says, "This is the book of the commandments of the Most High and the Lord that endureth forever. All that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die." That's why Scripture says what? Revelations 11:8. But the dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, right? Because we're spiritually dead. Without the commandments, without the law, statutes, and commandments, our people are spiritually dead. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. Give not thy honor to another, nor thy things that are profitable unto thee to strange nations. O Israel, happy are we, for the things that are pleasing to the Most High are made known unto us. Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath, he would deliver, so you would deliver unto your enemies. We lost all power, strength that we all possess. So yet some of the tribes had established governments, had established things, which is great. Being they had to fight tooth and nail to get to this position, and we feel good about that history. But in reality, a lot of those great people that we look up to, they pretty much sold us out. All right, we talk about celebrities and civil rights activists and all this other shit. Well, a lot of these leaders, I'm thinking of what's this guy's name too, Castro as well. A lot of these guys did a lot of evil to remain in power. All right, and when Esau came to this side of the world, I'm thinking of Cortez and them. They looked at uh, Issachar as savages, even though that Issachar was far greater than these cave dwellers were doing. But there was some somewhat truth to it because our people was sacrificing their own people. All right. Now they may say, "Oh, the people that they captured and all this other shit," but look at it in the heathenistical two heathens. Look at it. One is a natural heathen and another is a non-natural heathen. But the non-natural heathen, sorry, the natural heathen is going by what the scripture says and their utter hatred towards us. So when they came over here, they looked like, yo, these people they're heathens, right? But that was the wrath of the Lord. The Lord used them as the whipping stick towards our people. So to this day, there's a lot of our people that had made it. Well, let me just get to the point. I don't want to make this too long. But yeah, that president, he just didn't get into position of power just like that. Hey, Levi the same way. Every um Israelite back then that didn't know they were Israel, a lot of them didn't get themselves in a position as as like that because the Lord we were in punishment. We're in punishment mode, man. We're not getting no fate. The only favoritism we're gonna get is to get by. The Lord's gonna preserve our lives. All right. And as soon as we understand that, the sooner the better. Hey, didn't that Jake try to do other things without the Lord? How did that turn out? It says Isaiah 28 and 14. Wherefore hear the word of the. I'm sorry. Well, actually, wherefore hear the word of the Lord, you scornful men that rule this people which is in Jerusalem, and that's going into whom the leadership, because you have said we made a covenant with death, and hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. When we made refuge our lies, we made lies our refuge, and falsehood we have hid ourselves. So, what was the main thing, or how would they do that? There's a thing that there's a group of individuals that really run the world, but they need participators. They need people to participate. They need each people in each of the nations to participate to. Those are the Freemasons. Now, let me see something. I ain't trying to get on this guy's case, but let me just see something here. So, okay, let's say if he didn't, they're not going to say there's no evidence. So I can't verify that, what I heard, which is okay. But let me see something. I'm just curious. That's all. Yes. So the answer. So without really digging into it, the same great liberator, he himself was also a Freemason. Now we see the connection. All right. Yes, Simon Bavary was a prominent Freemason initiated in Spain around 1803 and advancing to Master Mason in Paris by 1806, embodying Masonic ideals of liberty, equality, fraternity in his fight for South American independence. He found the lodges in Venezuela, and what comes in mind? Jeroboam. In Peru, received received the 33 degree of Scottish Rite and inspired many fellow Masons who fought alongside him against the Spanish rule. So how are you going to use, going back to Levi? So I'm a Levite, so you can't use the devil's pawn or the devil's power to repel the devil. That makes you the devil yourself. All right. Now I make mention of it. Let me go into it if I can find it right away. Now that's the first thing that came to my mind. And yes, is a strong possibility that he was. I mean, he's Jake was known for this. What am I thinking? Jake are known for this. They're known for doing these things. So I'm not. I want to be surprised. All right. Let's see if I could get Second Kings 4. I believe. No. First Kings. Lock. Let me just type it in. all the kings of the northern kingdom, they all were wicked. You know what? I know what to do. I'm here. So, mom. All right, Rehoboam. Let me see. Slovakia. I just want to get to the point. Um, jeez. All right, boom. First Kings 12 and sorry, 27. If this people go up to okay, there it is. Here it is. First King 12 and 25. Then Jeroboam built Shittim and Mount Ephraim and dwelt therein, and went out from thence and built Peniel. And Jeroboam said in his heart, now shall the kingdom return to the house of David. Why? Because Jeroboam was given the charge to rule over the northern kingdom. And he feared that because everybody was going to go to Jerusalem for the Passover. Three times, 3 times a year, male's supposed to go to Jerusalem. And he just got the power, right? If this people go up to do sacrifice into the house of the Lord at Jerusalem, then shall the heart of the people turn again unto the Lord, even unto Rehoboam. It was not sorry, it was Rehoboam, king of Judah, and they, but not knowing that was ordained by the Lord to split. It says, and they shall kill me and go again to Rehoboam, the king of Judah. Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold and said unto them, it is too much for you to go to Jerusalem. Behold thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And he set one in Bethlehem and the other by put in Dan. And this thing became a sin, for the people went to worship before the one even unto Dan, and made an house of sorry, and he made an house of high places, and made priests of the lowest of the people, which were not of the sons of Levi. See the connection? I kept going back and forth because I didn't want to just focus on this man because I couldn't find the evidence. But then I had to bring up my tribe's history, but you can see the connection right there. Because why? The Levites were the priests, and according to the law, the Levites didn't own no land, so the Levites had to be spread around the people. All right, and it was getting 10%, and and live in the suburbs of these places. All right, so there was always a Levite in every amongst all the tribes. But with Jeroboam, what he did, he made priests out of anybody. All right, it's a movie that says he made an house of high places and made the priest, of the lowest of the people, which were not the sons of Levi, because that was the order, the structure to for the priesthood. All right, and Jeroboam ordained a feast in the 8th month, and on the 15th day of the month, made unto the feast that is in Judah, and offered upon the altar. So did he in Bethlehem sacrifice unto the calves that he made, and placed in Bethlehem the priests of the high places which he made. So going by the history, Israel is known for doing evil ish in the sight of the Lord. So when the opportunity came to any of the tribes of selling out, because it was not the time for our people to be delivered. Now is the time, all right, that our people come back. They're supposed to come back righteously. Back then, it was like a free fall. So even though we praise these great people, these great men, a lot of these men were Freemasons. A lot of these men were um, working for the enemy. All right, straight up. And you can't say, "Oh, back then it was pure." None of that was pure. None of that was pure. What was I? Oh, back in Isaiah 28 and 16. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I lie in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tri-stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste. That stone is Yahweh Shai. Also, during the time of Yahweh Shai, you had people that had good intentions, so to speak, for their people, but was going about it the wrong way. When you gotta remember, when Yahweh Shai came into the scene, there was so much division within the nation of Israel. All right, but only the elect was drawn to the. I mean, the Lord was healing. Also, he was drawing the people that was against the Lord. He wanted them out. Why? Because they wanted to maintain the power position that they had. So that's what the scripture said. Among my people found what? Wicked men. So the Lord was that tri-stone. Okay, yeah, we go back. Our history is so vast, but before the devil came and took us into captivity, we was going off. Period. That's why the Lord allowed. That's why it was like a it was a joint, not a joint. The Lord had to get at all the tribes, because in Africa, the west coast of Africa, Jacob was being wicked. It was worshiping different gods. The same thing they was doing on this side, and in Europe, Jake was being wicked. All right, we had the rulership of in Europe, but our people was being wicked. So all of us had to go down. All right, and we're paying for that to this day, to this moment. There's judgment also with our line to line, meaning wherever you come back, you're gonna be for the righteous, you was part of the elect, or you're gonna be wicked. In righteousness do I plummet, and the hell shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding place. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall now stand. So to this day, to this moment, you have a lot of people that's in the leaderships of these nations. That's amongst our people. I mean, a lot of them are probably tears, but some of our people are there. I'm not, listen, when it boils down to Israel is wicked. Point blank, period. No buts about it. There's no argument here about that. All right? It says, and the agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then you shall be trodden down by it. Hey, when Maduro, he thought he was all good, right? He wasn't a saint per se, even though he is a saint, but he was being wicked his goddamn self. And the Lord still got him out. And when the president of Colombia said, "Oh, try me," and he's not talking shit no more. Okay, because he got the spell. He not the spell. He got the memo. This is why they had going back to the video, if it's still there. Why they worshiping Satan openly for? Because they are part of the same fucking problem. You want to know why the Colombian people, the Venezuelan, all these nations of our people that have their own land, all right, everybody looks like them prominently, and why they sold out and everything, because they're all part of the same group of individuals. All right, the good old club, and you're not invited in it. All we supposed to do is follow these bumbling idiots. That's what they want us to do. But look what they're doing. They're openly worshiping the adversary. That's why Satan said what he said. You can't make it in this world without him. All right? Because people chase rich and fame. We're in Satan's world right now. And Satan's children. So whatever Satan's children say, which is East or Edom, these are the nations they follow. That's why you had who was that lady? But she might be a small hatter anyway. So, but well, I mean, let's really think about it. Who allowed the small hatters to come around? Jake. Okay, Jake. So Jake is full of it, and they're gonna get what when the all hell breaks loose. Those that sold out to them, they're gonna get destroyed with them. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation Israel. Shalom.